Hello, welcome to Point Blank, where we talk about issues that matter to you. And today we are going to be talking about youths who volunteer.
And also youths who do not volunteer because of school, workplace, and family demands and whatnot.
Okay, and our guests for today are very, very active volunteers. Jasemin here, and Elaine, who is also a yoga instructor. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you very much.
Now, we know that the National Volunteer and Philanthropy Center, or NVPC, is actually partnering more community and non-profit organizations to launch a new initiative called Singapore Cares, or SG Cares.
And one component of SG Cares actually includes a new online portal for people to search for volunteer opportunities that match their passion, skills, time and location.
And Razor TV's Kailing actually checked out the Riding for Disabled Association, or RDA. So let's see if she makes a good match for the organization.
I've never experienced anything like this. Sure, I've played with other kids before, but none of those instances touched me like this one. I met 6-year-old Leah at the Riding for the Disabled Association of Singapore. She has autism and she was there for her first therapy horse riding session. I was there to volunteer for the first time. I was to walk with the rider, make sure the kids are seated properly and safely, and help them with some of the activities. Sounds easy enough, but it wasn't exactly a walk in the park.
And then you say what? Walk on?
Okay, walk on.
Come on, walk on.
Walk on, Diane.
Do you want to go? Then we say walk on.
Lion and I were only just warming up.
Yay!
In the end, I think I did okay, but what did the expert think?
Okay, Susan, how do you think I did today? Being the first time.
I think you did a fantastic job.
Really?
You got right in there. You were really interacting with the little girl. You did everything I said. The only thing that happened was the pony got a bit excited because of the weather and whirled around, and you came around right behind her, and I was kind of thinking, okay. But then you noticed and you came back around to the side. So in situations like that, you kind of just have to think fast and get as close to the rider as you can. So when the pony does something unexpected, just kind of hug your rider and then move with them.
Okay.
But I thought you did a really good job. The little girl really liked you.
I found it a bit difficult because firstly, I don't know what to do with horses, and then secondly, I don't know what to do with kids. So is it like something that you see with your volunteers a lot, or do they usually know either?
We have such a mix. A lot of people here are mothers, so they have experience with children, but they've never been around a horse, or they've been on a holiday on a horse. You learn as you go. It's really just about experience and practice, and we don't expect you to know everything at first. Even with myself, I've been trained to do this work, but I learned by experience. Every child is different, every horse is different, so you just kind of pick it up along the way.
Would you say that RDA is a good place to start for people who want to get out and do some volunteer work?
I would, definitely, because there are a lot of different things you can do here. You can work with the children. If you're interested in doing more with the horses, we can train you to be a leader. As you saw, the horse, has a leader like Calvin, and then the 2 sidewalkers. So normally, volunteers start out as a sidewalker, just to get a feeling for everything. And then if you're interested in working with the horse more, we'll train you up to be a leader. So really, you can do either one depending on your interests.
RDA sees about 200 volunteers coming through its doors a week, many of them students.
Okay, Andre, tell me about your experiences at RDA.
Basically, I had a very, very good experience here. Basically, to help the kids, and basically, you need to get the patience to help these kids, especially when they are very hyper. So to me, I really find that it's good for me so that I can understand these people very well.
What do you usually do? Like, tell us a bit about what you do when what do you help with the kids with?
Basically, I help the kids is that I basically keep them aware, and I basically walk beside them so that in case they fall, I can support them. And basically, I make sure they behave themselves and make sure everything goes right with the kids and make sure I work well with them.
Why do you choose to volunteer at RDA? Of all places, they have so many different places to go to.
I chose RDA because I thought it would be something different from the normal CIP that everyone else is doing, like helping out the old folks' home, cleaning up. It's nothing normal. Since doing this would give me a sense of accomplishment, and I feel like I actually have helped people because from what I actually did today, I saw these mentally disabled people become more responsive, and you actually see that it's actually quite effective.
So how was today's your absolute very first day, right? How was the experience so far? Were you like a bit helpless, overwhelmed, or just makes you want to come back here again?
I was a little lost at first, and when I saw, and I felt I had a lot of questions unanswered, and then after that, slowly you see them become very helpful. Then you get your questions answered one by one, slowly. Yeah.
So do you look forward to coming back then?
Definitely, I'll come back.
And as for me, the experience may have only been a couple of hours, but I think Lion actually helped me a little bit more than I helped her.
I think from the video, right, it's very important to, match interest with the volunteering experience.
That's
so
true.
that, you can make it a long-term commitment sort of thing.
Yeah.
But before we go into that, let's get our guests to tell us about their own experience volunteering. Let's start from Jasemin. Okay. Jasemin, you volunteered at Make-A-Wish Foundation. How was the experience like over there?
I've been with the foundation for about a year plus. So I joined when I first came to Singapore to work. My first experience, I remember, was a very simple wish. The boy wished for a motorized wheelchair. He didn't want any party or any big bash. So we got him the wheelchair. We bought some snacks for him and the family. And he was just very, very happy. Yeah.
And of course, Make-A-Wish Foundation actually fulfills the wishes of children who are terminally ill or
life-threatening diseases.
Has life-threatening diseases.
Right. Okay, but Jasemin, how does it feel? There is that issue about how, volunteers go out there to touch lives of their beneficiaries. But how about yourself? You are seeing your beneficiaries walk away from you and, leaving you there cold. How does it feel to help people like that?
For me, I find myself lucky in a position like this because I'm able to give them such a wonderful gift, that memory of one day, when they can forget about their pain, their treatment, and then just enjoy themselves and their parents as well, and their family and their friends. So that to me, and I believe my volunteers, is already, a big enough blessing for us.
Okay.
All right. Now, Elaine, what about for yourself? Do you think that volunteering is for anyone out there, so long as you have the passion?
I think everybody can volunteer. And, we all have so much to give, and there's so much to do out there. So anybody and everybody can volunteer.
Maybe you could share with us a little bit about your overseas volunteering experience. I heard you have a wealth of that.
Well, not really. Last year, I went on a medical mission to Cambodia. I'm not a doctor or nurse or anything, so what I did was I manned the pharmacy, dispensing medicine and explaining to
They didn't
people.
require you to possess any form of qualifications or skills?
No, the doctors just explain what the medicines are, and they keep stock and replenish.
Okay.
Okay.
Was it your first time? That wasn't your first
It was my
overseas
first
expedition, right?
That was my first overseas.
Oh, okay. All right. How long were you there for?
We were there for about 10 days.
10 days.
Yeah, it was very, very tiring.
Right. But would you say you went there, because of the novelty that the experience offered, or was it really because you really wanted to help people?
I think it was a mixture of both, honestly. I wanted to help, and there was also the going somewhere exotic and doing something different and seeing for myself what happens overseas. We went to Cambodia. I'd never been there before. And what was interesting was we were doing work in a dumpster village. So these are scavengers that were living off a dump site, children who have, they don't go to school, there's no medical care. It all started very poor. And the group I went with is from a church, and they went to this village every year, I think, for about 5 years, 3 times a year. And at first, it really was just the doctors coming and giving them the basic medical care. And people would walk for hours to try and get to see the doctor because they don't normally get to see a doctor. And it's just amazing to see that type of work and the difference we can make doing so little.
Okay. Well, moving away from the overseas thing, why don't you tell us about what you're working on now?
Well, I just started doing work with the Humanity magazine. We are launching this magazine just this month. Proceeds go to the Tiger Foundation, and we're trying to build a library and a school canteen for a primary school in Cambodia.
Right. So these are long-term projects, right, that are sustainable and
yes.
Could last.
The Tiger Foundation has been doing work in Cambodia for now, I think, 2 years. And the projects are long-term projects. There are people on the ground, volunteers on the ground, and there are things that go on throughout the whole year to do water management systems, because in Cambodia it floods all the time. So the water management systems to look at the school curriculum, how to improve the school curriculum, and then refurbishment of buildings, and that's, I mean, whatever basic things they need. And the projects are long-term projects.
Right. Okay. So your volunteers are required to stay committed to the project on a long-term basis?
Well, at the moment, there are 2 Australians that moved there, and I mean, you don't move for a week, right? They move there and they're there to stay for a year, 2 years, however long it takes. And then hopefully, the idea is that with the expertise that we put into the school and the training of the teachers in the school, we can help build other schools in Cambodia. So there are now projects being targeted to build health centers and schools in more remote areas outside. And so this has been a good learning ground for the foundation that's just started.
Okay. Right. So what's your specific role in this project?
Me, well, I just started. I just joined them, and we're launching Humanity magazine. And it's a magazine about projects all around the world, humanitarian work that are being done, so that I guess people can read about them, know what's going on, and then feel motivated to volunteer and to donate. And the money goes to the projects that we want to do. So my role is getting it started, finding out how we're going to market it, how we're going to distribute it, where we're going to place it, finding people to advertise with us.
Right. Okay. There are some critics out there who say that, why are Singaporeans going overseas to volunteer? Why volunteer overseas when there's so much to be done at home as well? What do you have to say to that?
Absolutely. I mean, you can volunteer here, you can volunteer overseas. It depends on the time you have.
Right.
I mean, if not everybody can quit their job and pack off to go to Laos, Cambodia, China for a year, and it's nice to go and do a project for 2 weeks, and it makes you feel good, but it's a bit of a holiday still. And if you keep going back every 3 months, 4 months, and you're committed to do that, then it's making a difference. But if you want to go there on a holiday and do like a week and then forget about it, it's quite sad. Whereas if you do a project in Singapore, you can sign up for the whole year, and see things through. And when you see the people you're helping on a weekly basis, then you can develop a rapport with them, and it's a real relationship. It's not just, go there and feel good a bit and then leave.
That's true.
Like a one-off thing, right?
Yeah.
We really don't want that. And is it true, Elaine, that Jasemin.
It's getting late, I know.
You have the Elaine face, actually. Okay, is it true that you need to have interest before you do well volunteering?
I would say that would be one of the most important thing for a volunteer to have. It's not really about what skills you have or qualification, but I would say a deep passion to make a difference.
But is that really sufficient to keep you going?
It has kept me going for about a year plus. I don't know about you, Elaine, but I think passion is a key thing.
Okay.
Yeah, you must want to, put a smile on someone's face. You must want to, be able to have that passion to do good to other people. Just have faith that, you do make them happy, whatever you do.
Is there one particular incident that you can recount that really puts a very big impact on you?
I guess for me, one of the more memorable wish that I've granted was a teenager I worked with. She wanted to learn how to play
sound like
pool.
a fairy godmother.
Yeah, sometimes I do think myself as a fairy godmother.
Tell me why
rich.
Make me rich.
So she wanted to learn how to play pool, and she also told us that her she has this admiration towards one of the Singapore idol, who is now the Asian idol, I believe, Hadi. So my fellow volunteer and myself were cracking our heads on how to combine this together. So on the day itself, we brought her and a bunch of her friends to East Coast. There was this nice open air restaurant. So she was having a good time playing pool with her friends, family, and then out of the blue, Hadi comes and he started playing. So the smile on her face was really priceless. She was pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is Hadi a good pool player?
Yeah, and he was very sporting.
Okay.
Yeah, very sporting.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of patient was she? What's she suffering from?
Most of the children we work with, they suffer from various forms of cancer. Yeah. So
When you say life-threatening, you don't mean that they necessarily would
some
die
of them
within.
they do live. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But when we grant our wishes, we just focus on one thing. That is to make it a memorable wish for them, memorable day. Yeah.
While you're volunteering, would you be afraid that, you know, this child might suddenly leave us?
Yeah, how did you live with the possibility, just the thought of it that, you know, this child over here that you're helping may just disappear
us.
one day? And
I think you're gonna have faith that you know, whatever we can do, we have done, and the most important thing is that we've left them with a very good memory. Yeah.
Okay, so you haven't had a child die on you before, right?
Oh no.
So you were saying that the senior volunteers are the ones who take care of people, the children who are more ill.
For more serious cases, they get assigned to our more veteran volunteers.
how does that help? How is that useful?
How is that?
How is that? I mean, how is that useful? How are those skills, specific skills, useful in coping and dealing with these kids?
Well, one thing they have perhaps done it for many more years, and also they are more mature in that sense. Also, maybe some of them they have certain medical background, so they know how to handle certain sensitive situations.
Okay.
So yeah.
Are volunteers required to undergo some sort of compulsory training or courses?
We do go for a wish granting course, where we sit in a in the office for about a few hours, and then they go through what is the mission, what is the vision, what are some of the common things that we may see. We do role plays as well. At the end of the day, we come out, we feel more clearer of our role, what we can do, what we can't do. Yeah.
Okay, looks like we gotta take a breather and feel
get
the
our
atmosphere of our living room. And when we come
get our
back,
wishes granted in the
by
meantime.
our fairy godmother over here, very pretty one, in fact. Okay, I'll see you later.